Hey Siri, can you hear me?
Yes.
Great. Do you want to maybe just send a email? Oh, there's Nancy. Maybe just send an email to the board members, just letting them know we're kicking it off.
Sure.
Great. But I see we got Nancy, Steve. I think we have to get a quorum. We get one. You tell me how many we need for a quorum, Siri. I just forget off the top of my head.
We need 5. We have 3.
Okay. Look at that. Ted, I emailed you, Ted, and you immediately appeared. It's amazing.
Carolyn said she'll be on momentarily.
Okay, great. That's good. I think we do have 5 though. Maybe we'll wait 1 minute for Carolyn.
We do have 5.
Give it 1 more second.
Siri and Tim, Ted Brady's on. I'm just on my phone, not on camera today.
Thank you, Ted.
Thanks, Ted. I'm talking to myself over here. Maybe we'll kick off. I'll call the meeting to order. We have a quorum. And Carolyn will join us soon. And what we'll do contemporaneously is Siri, if you want to start the recording.
Yes, I did.
Okay. So yeah, this meeting is recorded. We'll post it after. And first order of business, I think, just introductions. I think everyone knows each other on here. We've got teams. Everyone's on teams today. No one's in a shared room. So I think the attendance is sua sponte. It's all good. And we'll quick agenda today, I think, hopefully. I would entertain first of all, everyone received all the materials and everyone's taking a look at the agenda, board members. Any questions there? Great. Welcome, Ashley, for joining us here. JP retired, so we've got a new board member from BSP, Ashley Barnes, and welcome. And I would entertain a motion to approve of the minutes from November 2025. Someone want to make that motion?
I'll make that motion. You guys hear me?
Yep.
I'll make that motion.
Okay. And do I hear a second? Nancy, you were there if you wanted to second it. If you want. Any seconds? I'd rather not second as chair, but I don't think there's a problem if I do.
Tim, Ted Brady here, second.
Perfect. Any discussion? All right. All those in favor, say aye, raise your hand. Just board members?
Aye.
Okay, all opposed? All abstaining? Great, so that's good. And I think today, I wanted to set the table a little bit and I'll hand it off to Siri. First of all, I want to thank the SIU board and staff from Wyndham on here today, Steve, Sam, and, also just the efforts. I think the SIU board and Wyndham has gone through, lots of meetings, lots of inward looking and, engaging an outside group. And I really appreciate that effort. I mean, everyone's got day jobs and things that they're doing. And, the board work that they're doing is volunteer work. And I know like Jeremy just became the chief down in Brattleboro as well. So I appreciate all that work that's gone into it at the board level. Steve has one of the highest caseloads of the state as an attorney. And so I know on a personal level that it's, Steve has worked really, really hard. And I appreciate the work of the board that's happened down there. And I wanted to say that from the outset. And, I really appreciate the material we've received. I'm going to hand it off to Siri, just saying that I think David Gardenstein also put in, wrote a memo to start off and appreciate David's work here. And the firm that they engaged, it was a lot of names, almost like a law firm, but it was an accounting firm down there. And yeah, Siri, I'll hand it off to you. The only thing I wanted to say before is that having received this material pretty recently, in my opinion, where we're at right now, I'm actually feeling pretty comfortable about where we're at. And I am not particularly in favor of utilizing an external auditor at this point, having received the material we've received. And that's part of the reason I wanted to call everyone in part because of the cost and I think what we received. So Siri, I'll hand it off to you.
Okay, thanks, Tim. And thank you all for coming. It's nice to see you. I just wanted to give a brief update to the board on the progress of the Wyndham SIU audit. And just want to recap for those of you who weren't at the last meeting, and forgive me for reading my notes. I'm literally the world's worst public speaker. So anyhow, at the last meeting, which was in November, about 5 months ago, we decided to pursue an audit. We contacted the state auditor's office and they referred us to an independent auditing firm called CLA. And we did meet with them to discuss a plan for going forward. They requested a number of documents, such as job descriptions and timesheets from both the VCA, the Vermont Children's Alliance, and the Wyndham SIU for calendar years 2024 and 2025. We requested these timesheets and we received all of them from the VCA, but the SIU timesheets took a bit longer because there were 2 months missing from calendar year 2024, and there was an entire quarter missing from 2025, all of which are presumed lost at this point. In the meantime, the Wyndham SIU had an independent financial review done, which they have shared with us, and we appreciate that. They shared it with us a week or two ago, and I sent the results of that review to you all the board members, yesterday via email. And we've spent many, many hours reviewing documents such as emails, timesheets, job descriptions, and we wanted to briefly note a couple of concerns to the board. The first concern is that there are multiple instances where it appears that there was overlapping of the 2 job entities during the same time periods. These have been flagged and will be shared with the Wyndham SIU board separately. The second concern is that based on the information we have gathered, Samantha has documented working excessively long hours on numerous occasions between the 2 jobs. And these are actual hours worked, not with time off being used to supplement her hours. We would have concerns about anyone working these kinds of hours for a variety of reasons. And again, we'll review this information with the Wyndham SIU board. If anyone on the SIU grants board would like a more detailed accounting of these concerns, we can certainly go into executive session to discuss them, but we can't discuss details of this in an open meeting. The final concern we had is that we noted a significant discrepancy between the paid time off outlined and allowed by the Wyndham SIU board and what was actually taken. And once again, we'll follow up with this discrepancy with the Wyndham board. The SIU grants program has taken some steps to address these concerns. Beginning in FY26, we now require timesheets to be submitted, and the timesheets have to be signed by a supervisor. Any SIU grant-funded staff have to submit their timesheets quarterly. And on the timesheets, they document what time they come into the office, what time they leave the office, and any hours worked from home. We have also set limits on the paid time off that the SIU grant will cover. And I review all timesheets that come in and maintain an Excel spreadsheet to track and manage these records. So none of this have been done in the past, and it's actually going pretty well this year. With respect to the independent audit, the cost estimate to review Samantha's timesheets is approximately $20,000. So we wanted to bring this to the SIU Grants Board for discussion because we do question the sensibility of incurring this cost to review what are basically incomplete timesheets that I have reviewed personally, and there's been an independent financial review in Windham County as well. Additionally, as Tim mentioned earlier, the Windham SIU Board has taken many steps to address our concerns, which I'll let them outline momentarily if they would like. But before I do this, I did also want to mention that yesterday in the email attachments that I sent to you, there were several letters of support for Samantha, which are worth noting. And while there have been concerns, we also really want to recognize Samantha's dedication and commitment to working with children as well. And I'll turn it over to Windham if, Steve, if you wanted to.
Yeah, I would say, Steve, I think the material you provided was super helpful. The effort is clear from my perspective. But if you wanted to say anything and talk about, really what you guys have been doing, I think that's great. And thanks for being here, Steve.
Thank you, Tim. Thank you, Siri. Thank you, board members. Can everybody hear me okay? Great. Yeah, so first off, thank you for inviting Jeremy and I to be here. Jeremy is now, as Tim noted, the chief of the Brattleboro Police Department and got called away to a ongoing situation that required his attention. So please don't take his absence as anything other than him needing to be somewhere for the PD. The other board members have also expressed overwhelmingly strong support on behalf of Safe Place. And as I understood the invitation, it was Jeremy and I. So I told the board members that they could continue on with their day because they all have day jobs and other commitments. So please don't see that their absence is anything but me telling them that they didn't need to be present today. And Siri, I really appreciate you recognizing Sam. What we found through this whole process is that Sam has overwhelming support in the law enforcement community here in Windham County. I don't think I heard anything about Sam that was anything but positive about her commitment to keeping kids safe and her commitment to the mission that Safe Place holds. And I, again, really appreciate that being recognized in this meeting. We, as a board, have, I feel we've taken substantial steps, and the board that exists today in April of 2026 is much different than the board that existed in April of 2025. I came onto this board as a brand new state's attorney. I had very little involvement with the SIU and with Safe Place prior to my appointment by Governor Scott because I just didn't handle those cases. Those cases had been traditionally handled by Tracy Shriver and David Garnstein, two of the best prosecutors that Vermont's ever known. And so with David's retirement and Tracy's retirement, I inherited Tracy's position on the Safe Place board, and frankly, the Safe Place board was not in an ideal situation. The chair had kind of disengaged from the board, and the board hadn't been particularly active. The board that exists today, I think, is I'm not sure there's a board that has spent more time in the last 6 months meeting and being engaged with Safe Place and helping Sam with her mission. And part of that is the result of this board's inquiry into the finances. I think it was a very fair inquiry, and we took it very seriously. I'm not going to go into detail the findings that the auditor found. I think those are laid out by David. But the bottom line is, we didn't find anything that would call into question Sam's integrity. We have an organization that we believe is financially secure, that has been doing well. We've put in a lot of safeguards. I can speak to a couple of those safeguards and policies that we have changed. And I am now the new board as of, I think, or the chair of the board as of last week or the week before. I will be meeting with Sam on a bi-weekly basis to go over a timesheet as a 5 to 10 minute check-in every 2 weeks. That's something that we instituted. We also instituted a spreadsheet that all board members can monitor in live action to see what grants are being used, what funds are being expended, and what our remaining balances are on our various grants, and our and to keep an eye on the overall budget. We are in the process of restructuring Safe Places personnel. That is happening actually today. We're interviewing for a victim advocate candidate, but we are also taking a hard look at what we want the next person hired at Safe Place to be, what type of role that person should play. And David's been tasked with that effort and has been participating in that process. We are also, and we will begin to look at all of the various personnel policies and procedures that are in place at Safe Place. That is work that has been on our in our queue for some time. It took a little bit of a backseat because we were highly focused on this process and making sure that we were providing satisfactory answers to the inquiries that SAS was making and this board. So the long story short, I am very proud of what the board has done. I'm very proud to be part of a Safe Place. It holds I think a very important part of our community and the work we do to keep kids safe here in Vermont. And I'm happy to answer. Well, I'd like to address Siri raised 3 concerns. These concerns aren't new to the board. These are concerns that we have been working on, and we want to make sure that, going forward, we have no concerns that the board needs to worry about. So if there's any questions, I'm happy to answer those questions. If not, I'm happy to turn it back over to Tim. And again, thank you for inviting me to be here. And I appreciate everybody taking the time out of their schedules to be part of this meeting. And I'm sorry that we've taken up so much of the bandwidth of this group.
Thank you, Steve. And the other thing I'll say is when Steve sent over all the material, having not read it in that same day, I said, here's the process and we'll send it to the board. And then I took a deeper look myself, as did Siri. And then we decided to schedule kind of in a more immediate board meeting, in part because I recognition of that effort that Wyndham put into it and wanting to get it right before you hear. And so in that email, Steve said, and we would hope for the release in terms of where we're at today, hope for the release of the remaining 24,000. So where we left things off is we'd released everything but held back 24,000 that was salary related to the executive director. Everything else is in the queue and still approved, the law enforcement grant, the other dollars. So there's 24,000 is what's on the table, what had been held back, which was 50% of the ask for that item, essentially. So yeah, it's great. We have Steve here and Sam here, and if there's any questions for them, that's great. I'm also happy to having noted these things, and I think Wyndham and also I would say other SIUs are looking inward and how they're doing practices. And I had a great chat with them that Patty invited me to with the CAC hats on about, MDTs and how that's all functioning. So there's good inward looking at SAS and, I've been here about a year and a half as the executive director, and I carry with me lots of treasury baggage that I bring with me to my job. And prosecutor, I'm damned in both directions, treasury management and prosecutorial baggage. So I don't want anyone to ever confuse scrutiny and concern with issues of personnel or management. You're all local boards. We're allowed to flag things. We are holding taxpayer dollars, but it's not personal. And the board is actively managed by the Windham County right now, and cannot applaud them any more than we already have. We appreciate that. But yeah, any questions from board members? The question on the board for the board would be to release the 24,000 and sort of close out the year. You stunned them, Steve, into silence.
Hey, Tim, this is Ted Brady. Sorry, I can't raise my hand on the phone here.
No worries.
Is there a staff recommendation today?
I think the question for the board would be to release the remaining 24,000. That at this point, you know, I was on the fence, and I think Siri is going to maintain a more objective and neutral stance. But at this point, I'm comfortable releasing the 24,000 as the chair of the board, and appreciate the exercise we've gone through and the safeguards that are in place in Windham very much. And so I would be in favor of entertaining that motion, but I'm not going to make the motion myself.
Thanks, Tim. I would make that motion to.
All right, so there's a
release the
motion to release the
$24,000.
24,000.
I'll second that motion.
Second from Jen Harlow. Any discussion? Okay. All those in favor say aye.
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 Or raise your hand. All opposed? None opposed. Any abstentions? Great. So Siri will get that over to Barb Bernardini, and we will get that processed. I just wanted to let folks know, and thank you all very much. I think we're under half an hour right now, which is good. You can have lunch. The other thing I wanted to let folks know is we're bringing on a new fiscal director. Our department has existed for many years with one fiscal staff member working 4 days a week, working on a $40 million budget. And so we are happily bringing on another fiscal director to our department. The legislature voluntold us to take. And so Matt Hill, also from Lamoille County, Tracy. I don't know what it is about Lamoille County, but anyway, Matt Hill, the former state representative from Lamoille County, has been working for VHCB for a number of years. He'll be joining us in short order. And so you may eventually see his name in emails and sort of checking in with you all, working with Siri. And we're excited to bring on another person with some grant experience and fiscal management experience. So if you see his name in an email, he's joining us in May. I'm very excited about having him join our team and working across all of the different spaces that we are in. Yeah, any other comments from board members before we do? We don't need to enter executive session as far as I'm concerned. Yeah, any other comments from board members? Okay. And yeah, any public comment? All right. We're really getting it done, 25 minutes. Well, I thank you all. I think we can adjourn by acclaim as we do on the Criminal Justice Council. And I appreciate all of your time and efforts, board members and local Windham folks as well. Lauren and I spent the day in Windham on, I forget what day that was now, but I think it was Tuesday? Yeah.
Monday.
Okay, it was Monday. And spent time with Steve and also with all the sheriffs who were meeting down there. And it was like spring in Windham County. It's not spring in Montpelier. It's all still, the grass is still gross up here. So anyway, thank you all very much. Have a good one, and we will adjourn. And Siri will be in touch about the next steps.
Tim, do we need a motion to adjourn?
I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. Jen Harlow made it. Look at that. Jen moved and seconded by me, by Nancy, and
Nancy.
All in favor. Great. Signing off. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.